You're following a forest trail as it gets darker. There's a noise behind you. A white rider and horse passes. Continuing on the path, a clearing is ahead, and you are relieved as you approach. A noise behind you pauses your advance. A red rider and horse gallop by. The clearing is illuminated, and you discover the area's light is coming from glowing human skulls mounted on fence posts. Light beaming from the eye sockets keeps shadows away as you gaze upon your destination, a house with chicken legs. A noise from behind startles you. A black rider and horse charge by. You approach the house and speak the secret command. Turn your back to the woods and your front to me. The house turns to you and lowers onto its legs. Reaching for the door, something behind you stops your progress. She is here. She is Russia's Bogeyman, Baba Yaga, and this is Legends from the Pacific. Aloha, and thank you for joining us. This is Legends from the Pacific, Episode 8, Russia's Boogeyman, Baba Yaga. I am Kamuela Kaneshiro. Later in this episode, John Wick, your featured song, which is a world premiere sample, and your Hawaiian word. Also, mark your calendars for the month of May, when we'll be doing a month-long focus on Hawaiian history. But now, Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga's first publication was in 1755. Baba has different meanings like sorcerer or fortune teller, but the Russian word for baba or babushka means grandmother. However, Yaga does not have a direct meaning and is usually associated with something negative. Baba Yaga appears as an individual or three separate women. As an individual, Baba Yaga is seen as a worn-out hag who eats children and is the story's villain, or at times assists the protagonist and gives them an item to aid their journey. It should be noted that Baba Yaga is also depicted at times as a kind grandmother who rewards children. But Baba Yaga has been around prior to her 1755 publication. In the 17th century, she was depicted on Russian woodblock prints, dressed similarly as Catherine I. Baba Yaga the hag has the ability to smell when Russians are around. Instead of flying on a broom, Baba Yaga sits in a giant mortar and uses the pestle to guide her. However, she does use a broom to sweep away her tracks. Her house walks on chicken legs and can only be entered by saying the phrase, "Turn your back to the woods and your front to me." I'd like to note that every Russian literary character, for some reason, knows the secret words to access Baba Yaga's house. Also, the chicken legs could be from certain cultures that build storehouses on grouped trees to keep provisions safe from animals. Because of this, the tree supports look like chicken legs coming out from under the house. Sometimes Baba Yaga travels with three horsemen. The horsemen are dressed in white, red, and black, which represent the day, the sun, and the night. This implies Baba Yaga can control the natural elements. But while she interacts with creatures and items, she does not look after them. This is usually how protagonists escape because their kindness gains them allies. Baba Yaga also has many human and supernatural children, which may include the devil himself. Her human children are known to betray her and escape with the protagonist. The absence of husbands or lovers implies that Baba Yaga might be able to reproduce on her own. Baba Yaga has also died in a few stories, but she doesn't stay dead, and it's more of an inconvenience for her. Still to come, John Wick, your featured world premiere song sampling, and Hawaiian word. But now, a story. The following is a Legends from the Pacific original story, and is based on cultural tales. there was a merchant who married a woman. They had a daughter who they named Vasilisa. When Vasilisa was 8 years old, her mother got sick and became bedridden. Vasilisa's mother gave her daughter a wooden doll and told her if she was ever in need, give the doll a little to drink and a little to eat. Vasilisa's mother died, and Vasilisa gave her doll a little to drink and a little to eat, and the doll comforted her. Time passed, and Vasilisa's father, the merchant, married a woman who had 2 daughters of her own. The stepmother was cruel to Vasilisa and made her do all the chores, which Vasilisa completed with the help of her doll. One day, the merchant needed to leave for a journey. Vasilisa's stepmother saw this as an opportunity to be rid of Vasilisa. The stepmother sold their house and moved the family into a hut beside the forest of Baba Yaga. The stepmother doused the household fires and made Vasilisa go and ask Baba Yaga for light. Vasilisa ventured into the woods and encountered a white rider and horse who rode past. She came upon a clearing as a red rider and horse rode past. The clearing was illuminated by glowing skulls on fence posts that surrounded a house with chicken legs. A black rider and horse rode past as Vasilisa became terrified, and Baba Yaga appeared in her mortar. The witch asked Vasilisa what she was doing outside her house. The girl referred to Baba Yaga as grandmother and asked her if she could give her light to take back to her family. Baba Yaga made a deal with Vasilisa. The girl would stay with Baba Yaga and do chores in exchange for light. But if Vasilisa failed, Baba Yaga would eat her. Vasilisa agreed, and they entered Baba Yaga's house. Baba Yaga gave Vasilisa food scraps and listed things the girl needed to complete tomorrow before Baba Yaga returned. Baba Yaga knew Vasilisa would fail and dreamt of eating her. Vasilisa was scared and gave her food scraps to her doll. Vasilisa's doll comforted her and said to sleep because the morning is wiser than evening. The following day, Baba Yaga left and Vasilisa completed Baba Yaga's chores with the help of her doll. Baba Yaga returned and was upset with Vasilisa's success. Baba Yaga summoned 3 pairs of hands and ordered them on a chore. During dinner, Baba Yaga asked Vasilisa why she didn't talk much. Vasilisa replied she didn't feel that she could. Baba Yaga encouraged Vasilisa to ask questions, but warned the girl against asking too many. Vasilisa asked about the white, red, and black riders. Baba Yaga said they were her bright day, bright sun, and dark night, then asked if she had any other questions. Vasilisa wanted to ask about the hands Baba Yaga summoned, but decided not to and said no. Baba Yaga asked Vasilisa how she was able to complete all her tasks. Vasilisa replied, "By my mother's blessing." Baba Yaga was repulsed that anyone with blessings was in her home. She dragged the girl outside, put a glowing skull on a stick, gave it to Vasilisa, and demanded she leave. Vasilisa returned home and was surprised her house remained darkened. She discovered her stepmother and sisters tried to make fires, but nothing worked. They asked how things went with Baba Yaga. Vasilisa showed them the glowing skull, but when its light beams were cast on the stepmother and her daughters, they burst into flames. Vasilisa watched in shock as all that remained of her stepmother and sisters were ashes. Vasilisa buried the glowing skull so it wouldn't hurt anyone again. Coming up is your world premiere song sampling and Hawaiian word. Listeners, don't forget, we'll be focusing on Hawaiian history for the month of May, so mark your calendars. Our closing story was a variation of Vasilisa the Wise. A common ending to the story is Vasilisa catches the eye of the king, they're married, and she becomes Queen Vasilisa. As you may have noticed, there's many parallels between this story and Cinderella, which has different cultural versions and can be traced to ancient Greece. There have been modified versions of Vasilisa the Wise that portray Vasilisa as the villain and Baba Yaga as the victim. It should be noted that Vasilisa is a common Russian female protagonist name, but that's a story for another time. Today, Baba Yaga has been seen in the video games Smite and the Witcher series. She's a recurring character in the Hellboy comic series and appeared in the 2019 Hellboy film. It should also be noted that in Hayao Miyazaki's film Howl's Moving Castle, the steampunk-inspired castle had metal chicken legs. But perhaps many know Baba Yaga because of the John Wick movies. In the films, Keanu Reeves' character John Wick is referred to as Baba Yaga, which is translated into the Bogeyman. While Baba Yaga is traditionally an old woman, she is considered the Russian or Slavic version of the Bogeyman. Because of John Wick's Russian background and his almost supernatural ability to infiltrate locations and assassinate his victims, this may be why his Russian associates refer to him as Baba Yaga or the Bogeyman. If you like what you heard, please give us a rating, write a review, and share Legends from the Pacific with your friends and family. I'd really appreciate it. One last thing before we go, I'd like to say a thank you to our listeners in Peru who took the time to write in and praise their enjoyment of our episode about Lima's La Casa Matsusita, which was episode 5, Cursed by a Witch. Once again, a big thank you to all of you who contacted me. You can also send us feedback by clicking the feedback tab on our website, legendsfromthepacific.com. Our theme song is Mystery by Tavana, courtesy of High Sessions. Sound effects were by Sound Effects Factory. Our music coordinator is Matt Duffy, aka DJ TripleBypass. Links and show notes can be found on our website, legendsfromthepacific.com, including a link to your featured song and world premiere of Chemistry by the Ghost of Helags. Your featured Hawaiian word is kupuna, which is grandparent, elder, or ancestor. An example for kupuna is, my father's parents are my kupuna. Once again, kupuna means grandparent, elder, or ancestor. Legends from the Pacific was written, produced, and edited by me, Kamuela Kaneshiro. I also wrote our original stories. Thank you once again for listening. Mahalo and ahui ho.